Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Stepping Up to the Plate. So glad you could join us. I'm your host, Michael Vega. Happy to be joined alongside by my main man, Al Prizzuti. And Al, I hope you had a great Easter.
You too.
It came up on us so fast, didn't it?
I know.
Just like the NCAA tournament, March Madness, come and gone. You know, opening day, the Red Sox, yeah, not so great, but they did get a win. They fashioned a win against the Brewers.
Yeah. Well,
With Garrett Crochet back on the mound, so that was encouraging. But still a lot of stuff that they got to deal with. The Bruins right now staggering towards the finish, trying to hold on to that number one spot in the wild card race.
even if they get to number 2, if they get to 2, they got to play Carolina.
And it'll be over. It'll be over quick.
So.
And then, of course, we got the Celtics, who are just, I think, gathering steam for a strong finish. And they play the Knicks. They'll cement number 2 seed. And then, of course, they can rest their starters. You know, rest Jaylen Brown, rest Jason Tatum, and then gear up for the deep run in the playoffs. I'm excited about them. Then we had the NCAA tournament, Al. A lot of exciting games going on. A lot of controversy in the women's game between Gino Auriemma and Dawn Staley, which seemed to be a kerfuffle over nothing, really. But
I think he made a huge mistake.
Big mistake.
He's been apologizing
big mistake.
since it happened.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to do that when he did it
Yeah.
is the worst.
Poor form. Poor
Very,
form.
very. And he said it.
You know, he looked like, I felt badly for Dawn Staley. I felt badly for her team. I felt badly for his players because you know what? He stole the thunder. He stole their joy, and then he reflected badly upon, on them. And the way he just kind of stormed off the court. And I think he was more mad at the officiating in that game.
Well, that was part of it. But, I mean.
And then it kind of, when he took a shot at Dawn Staley during that interview with Holly Rowe, I don't know if you saw the game, but when they did that interview, and this probably may be the end of those interviews, because he was hot. He was hot, and I knew that was not going to subside at the end of the game. And when he went over there, to make it out to be some kind of breach of protocol that, they didn't come kiss the ring before the game, I mean, come on. She's won national, and it's not like, he's had her on his Olympic staffs.
I mean, she was on the, yeah. So I think what happened is he actually acted like a 5-year-old.
Oh,
That's what little kids do. When somebody, first of all, he loses the game.
Yeah.
So he's a little upset. He was complaining about the referees, and complaining about the physicality. He was doing everything that losers always do. Point the finger at everybody else.
Yeah, and he showed no grace at all, and that was astonishing because he's always been a guy that's shown some, but at the end, especially genuflecting to the people that beat him, but not in this case. I think there was a little bit of an axe to grind still with Dawn Staley, and so my Texas Longhorns get outed by the UCLA Bruins, who wind up winning the national championship very impressively. And give it up to their coach, give it up to those players. Do you realize that on the women's that senior team scored all the points at the Final Four? Her senior scored every single point at the Final Four. It was an unbelievable run by them. And it was funny to see this girl, Gabriela Jaquez, her brother Jaime Jaquez plays for the Heat. And he played at UCLA,
yeah.
But they won the first national championship in the women's program, and they got a long ways to go to catch up to the men's program, but in terms of the number of championships.
Well, the only positive on UConn was the insurance company that backed Jordan's furniture. So they were the only ones because they won that game, they were the favorites to win, not the men, to get to the.
All they had to do was get to the final.
I know, that's it.
That's
what I'm saying. They had the best shot of getting there. They had won 58 in a row.
Yeah.
And the other team was more like a Cinderella team, if you want to call it that. They got there.
Yeah. Well, and it was, and then you look at the men's side, UConn had their run after getting smoked in the Big East tournament by St. John's. That they go on a deep run, they get to the championship game, and, I was really rooting for them. I really was. You looked at Michigan. Michigan was just unbelievable. That Spaniard kid, Mara, Oh man, he's a good player.
No.
He might be the guy. He might be the answer to Wemby. He might be the guy who could cover Wemby. But
I don't. When I get to these games, I very seldom do I have a favorite. All I want to see is a good game.
Oh, that was a good game.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a rock fight, but it was a good game.
I mean, if Michigan lost, that would be okay with me. If so.
But no, that kid Yaxel Lendenborg, they call him the Dominican LeBron James. That dude is a beast. Then the kid, Terrace Reed Jr., that dude is a beast. And you know what, Al? What I liked about both their games, they went at each other, but it was their footwork, their ability to score. They had great touch. They could shoot it from outside. They could take you inside. They're going to be great. Those two guys are going to be unbelievable pros. They'll be going at each other for a long time. They'll be seeing each other in the pros a lot. But oh man, I'm excited. For that. Al, and what about the Masters this week?
Yeah, this week.
Unbelievable.
That'll be interesting. I mean, the Masters really is somebody who can keep the ball straight and putt.
Yeah.
And I've been there, and it's a hilly golf course.
It's definitely a hilly course, right?
A lot of people don't realize how hilly it is, but it is. Even that first hole, you look at it, it looks like it's pretty simple. It's a relatively short par 4, but it's uphill like this.
Well, you got the 15th hole is a little bit hilly, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, on
16th is challenging because they got like a side hill lie.
It's
a side hill lie on that putting surface.
And the greens are all
undulating.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what kills a lot of people. Going for the green on the par 5 and 2 is a big mistake. Everybody hits it in the creek.
Yeah.
That short par 3 just after that
16,
hole is another one that guys are short in the water, comes back.
Yeah.
Because these guys draw the ball. Most amateurs can't do that.
No.
Because it requires that you hit down on the ball, which most guys sweep.
They're using tour blades too.
Yeah, well,
and they kind of they're able to carve up the ball a little bit. And
it's amazing.
It is what they can do. But Rory McIlroy will be defending champion at the Masters. Everyone's excited, that he got his personal Grand Slam. Coming back, we saw how emotional of a win it was for him because it was like one of those, I guess, events or the thing that was left unchecked on his, career resume, and he got it. And so it'll be interesting now. A couple of the live guys will be coming over.
Well, the good thing is we'll be able to see now 2 of Scotty's kids, one in diapers, both of them in diapers. If he wins, they'll be running across the green. So
you might have to be changing the diapers. But oh my God,
it's a great tournament to watch because you can have a big lead and ruin it in one hole, and it's happened.
Yeah.
Greg Norman had it happen to him.
Yeah.
As
they say, Al, it's an event unlike any other.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're going up Magnolia Way there, and I've done it, and even walking it as a spectator, you just go, wow.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cheap for the materials. I bought hats and, stuff like that.
Pimento and cheese sandwich?
Yeah. Well, that's a big deal.
Like $1.50 or something?
Yeah,
it's a throwback. I don't know. Maybe inflation hit there now. It's $2.50. I don't know, but yeah, it is an event. It's one of those on my bucket list I haven't done yet. I'd love to do it, but it's going to be compelling television. As will the Red Sox, I think.
Please. They show me. I'll tell you. We were talking about this before the show started. They're pitching.
Yeah.
You can say one thing. They're pitching other than Crochet. I mean, Sonny Gray.
He's
pitched
going
a
today.
good game, but I mean,
he's crafty, but he doesn't have velocity.
Oh yeah, he's crafty. He better be crafty.
Yeah,
and he better get the calls
out. Yeah.
On the corners because if he throws it down the middle, it's gone.
Yeah.
Suarez, for all intents and purposes, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
The other guy, Bello, the only one who thinks Bello's a great pitcher was Pedro. Because he said, I'm going to work with this kid, and everybody thought he was another Pedro.
Yeah.
He can't get out of the first couple of innings.
Yeah.
So without pitching, this team you might win some games at home, but they're going to be a 85, 88, maybe 90 wins. Not going to win it.
Yeah.
Yankees are going to run away with it, I think.
Yeah.
But look at Babe Ruth there in left field. Can't hit and he can't throw.
You know, that throw that he made, that egregious error, you know, that left fielder.
Jesus. What was he looking at?
Right. You could see that he was aiming his body way off third, way off the
third base line.
Down the third base. He threw it exactly where his body was aiming.
You know what?
He didn't, you know what? He didn't plant his foot aiming at home base.
Another 0 for 4 yesterday. He's hitting 230 or something like that. A guy like him, with all the kudos that he's had, has to be a guy who leads the team when they're not doing well.
Right.
He's contributing to the fact that they're not doing well.
Right.
I mean, he's not hitting. He's an average fielder. I mean, everybody talked about the Yoshida. He's as good a fielder right now as,
and a better hitter.
Well, at least he hits the ball. He puts the ball
in play
all the time. You know, and you can say what you want about Connor Wong. You know, he had a bad year last year, but he's another one that puts
remember he broke his.
He did.
Yeah.
So
his pinky, man.
You got two catches that I think both can hit.
Yeah.
Hit reasonably well. And Willer is the best ball player on the team.
Yeah. Abreu.
Right now.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, he can hit. Now Casas, they're saying, has another injury. He's done.
I don't think we see him again here.
I don't think you'll see him here. He might hang around for a year and then go someplace else. Yeah, well, I don't know. Nobody's going to want a damaged package like him, you know. So I think they're in trouble. I read that Cora's not in trouble, but he's not in trouble now. But we're fickle in this town. If the Sox in the end of May, 12, 15 games out.
You think he gets fired? That's your prediction now?
I don't think he cares anymore, because he has made comments about, you know what, I'll do the best I can. He's kind of a low-key kind of guy.
I think that he sees what they didn't do.
Maybe.
They could have gotten Kyle Schwarber. They could have gotten a couple of these. Dylan Cease, the guy who went and 13 Ks in his first outing for the Blue Jays. Yeah. They could have gotten that guy. They could have had any number of people if they committed, but they were always in the mix. And it's one thing to be in the mix, and it's another to get the commitment, to land the signing, you know.
Yeah.
And they just haven't been able to do that. And then what's worse is they're not developing the players they have. It seems like they're regressing.
Well, I mean, look, we've got to be honest about this. They've given up two potential Hall of Famers. Devers and
Bregman.
No. Well, Bregman.
Mookie Betts?
Bregman didn't want it. Mookie.
Yeah.
If you look at Mookie Betts, when they got rid of him, he's won championships with the Dodgers. He's continued to be a five-tool player. He can play multiple positions. He can hit for power.
Bingo, Al. You hit it. He plays multiple positions.
And then you've got, Devers is now, he's a designated hitter out there.
Yeah. And I'll give you another one. Look at Chris Sale, what he did with the Braves.
Sale toward the end of his career, I can understand that a little with all the injuries and all the stuff. I can understand that.
He had. Yeah.
But Devers, he still hit 30 home runs last year.
What do you attribute at any of their, performances to the pressure cooker of playing in Boston?
Yeah, a little. I mean, I think for a guy like Devers, if somebody like Ortiz doesn't go to him and say, here's what you need to do, and he listens, Devers he's kind of this kind of a guy.
Yeah, well, whether you liked him or not, I think Bregman was that guy in the clubhouse last year who put his arm around some of the younger guys, like Roman Anthony, Mayer, and kind of like tried to show them.
Bregman was better in the clubhouse than he was on the field. He wasn't a great fielder when the Red Sox had him, maybe because of he had the hamstring problem.
Yeah, he had a thigh issue.
So he wasn't a great hitter with the Red Sox. He didn't hit for a lot of power.
Didn't drive the ball.
So,
he punched it a lot.
I wouldn't have given him the salary that the Cubs gave him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done that. I mean, he's toward the end of his career as it is. But look at the Sox. I'm not saying that the Sox won't come back, because they still have, if you look at it, a fairly decent team.
Yeah.
But they need pitching. Pitching's the name of the game, and I'm surprised at the general manager, because that's what his beck and call is. But they seem to bring in guys like Sonny Gray, who's at the end of his career, if we're really looking at it. He's got a couple of good years left, maybe. Or the Edo.
This could be it.
Yeah, or it could be.
Yeah.
And look at Walker Buehler pitched the other day.
Where is Lucas Giolito now?
Yeah, well, another one. Toll, Giolito. I mean, we got him it's like a transit.
Coming and going.
Yeah. So.
Are you encouraged at all by Conley early?
Yeah, and yes and no. Conley early is the type of guy
He deserved to win his last outing.
Well, not the time before he pitched
Yeah.
better. This last time, what I look at is not how they look in the first three. It's the next 3 or 4 innings, and he gets through the first couple because he can throw, but then they seem to catch up to him.
Yeah.
You know, so if he's a 6-inning pitcher, that's fine. You got to know what you're going to get. Wakefield was a 5-6 inning pitcher.
Right.
You know, with the 5 ERA.
Right.
But, so
he could eat innings up. Yeah.
he'll be, and he's a lefty. So I mean, lefties are tough because you don't see them that often.
It's funny how pitchers now, if you can go 5 innings, wow, that's a job well done.
Yeah, well, see, the
I mean,
number,
if you get the
I
5
have a problem
innings,
with the number.
Yeah.
I mean, go 5 or 6 innings, but to just he's close to 96, and you know he's going to come out at 100.
Well, I think it's because of how many times around the rotation they've gone, at the batting order. If they've gone 2 or 3 times now, teams tend to pick up on a tendency.
I think what's happened with pitching, though, is years ago guys used to pitch. I saw Sam McDowell pitch both ends of a doubleheader.
Yeah, yeah.
And they could care less how many pitches that they threw. But from the Tommy John problems till now, it's a number of pitches. I mean, you can't wear some guys on. With Sale, it was how he pitched, because they said because of his motion, he was going to cause a problem.
Well, he was whipping it. He was driving. He wasn't driving the ball with his lower half.
And the home plate, the calls now on balls and strikes is hurting everybody.
Yes.
It's hurting pitchers and it's hurting hitters. Especially somebody like Roman Anthony.
And you know who else is hurting? The umpires.
Well, I mean, what's his name?
Umpires. I mean, every time they make a call, am I going to be called on this?
I think Buckner probably belongs down in, the Cape League, because he can't seem to call anything right.
Yeah, he was way off.
But if you look at it, a guy like Anthony, very patient hitter.
Yeah.
He doesn't swing, kind of like Ted in a way. He doesn't swing at balls, right? What he thinks is a ball, but turns out to be a strike.
Right.
Because now they're hitting those corners, and they say, and he says,
and you know what, Al? They're making him chase.
Yeah, well.
And then that's consequently, now, they pump in 2 quick strikes, and he's chasing at a bad
Well, this
pitch.
is the big thing with him right now.
Correct.
He's worried that his start is going to keep going for a while, and then it's going to take him forever to come back, and they'll end up hitting 270, which is not what they thought they had.
What's going to happen to the team?
Yeah. Down.
Will he get the quick hook like Marco Sturm gave to Jeremy Swayman?
Trevor Story got a quick hook going from 2 to 5, which is, I think, the right thing at this stage, because he strikes out half the time.
Yeah.
So they move him down in the lineup. But, the Bruins, I'm obviously a real fan of hockey, but when I watch the Bruins, they never look like they're the better team. No. Never.
Yeah.
And last night was a great example of watching a team, very disciplined, great checking, great, unbelievable check. They're all over the ice.
Yeah.
The Bruins didn't even look like they knew what they were doing. They didn't even look like they belonged in the same building with that team. And I'll give them credit for one thing. They don't give up. They came back from a 5-3 to tie it 5-5. They got a point, which I think is the stupidest thing anyway.
The travesty of it all was that, finally Morgan Geekie got on track, man.
Well, who set him up?
Yeah, Pasta.
Pasta. And they moved Geeky off the line, which was Sturm's problem, because he wanted to put Pasta with
Kustadinov.
Kustadinov and the other kid. The other kid, the young kid they got from Toronto. Milton. If you want Geeky to score, you need somebody to set him. But that pass that Pasta gave to him, that he just.
Oh, it was a
come on, a beautiful play. Pasta should shoot more. He doesn't. He wants to. He's got 99 points, incidentally.
And I think 70 assists.
Yeah, it's still only 29 goals, so figure it out. He's got 70 and 29.
Yeah.
They're in trouble. Even if they make the playoffs, in my opinion, what they are is a first.
My concern now is that their goalie, the number one goalie, might be going through a little bit of a crisis of confidence, especially after that. And it's not a right time to be doing that.
Yeah, but that's not what they're saying. They're saying since January, since the Olympics, he's been one of the better goalies. I think he's made some. He's pretty good goaltender. There's no question about it. But he's not a premier goaltender. He let 2 goals in last night. Yeah. Korpisalo kept the Bruins in the game.
Yes.
They wouldn't have got a point if it wasn't for Korpisalo.
Yeah.
He made some. He's much more of an acrobatic style goaltender than Swayman.
He got peppered there.
Well, he goes from side to side. Yeah. He's pretty agile. He's
and that's
bigger than
what
you
kind
think.
of happened in that overtime. He got caught a little on the other side, and then he had to swing back.
Well, that was another case where, just like in the Philly game, you looked at that and you say, if you don't get the draw on 3-on-3, and that team just circles around, they come out of the zone, everybody goes around, and they're looking for an open guy. That's all they're looking for. And the Bees can't win. They win draws at center ice. They need them in the zone when they have a chance to score, and they never get it.
They almost got one at the end of the regulation, I thought.
Well, I
would have have a draw there. The puck came loose. I think they had a shot at it, but it was a brutal loss. I felt badly for Geeky, badly for Jeremy Swayman. Not sure where his head is at right now. He got to get back. Like you say, the schedule's not going to get any easier.
Well, what happened was, the Bruins haven't played well on the road. They had a few games where they won on the road, and everybody went, well, it looks like they're turning it around. But when you look at this, they go out for 4 games on the road. And if you're going to look at that and say there's 8 possible points, if we can get 4 of them, that's good. They got 2.
Okay, so you got 6 possible points left out there.
Yeah, they need 4 of them.
You get 3? Can they make it? Can they squeak in with 3?
Yeah, but then you got to look and see everybody behind them's got a game in hand.
So 3 is what? 1-1-1?
Well, they got to win one of them to get 2 points.
Right.
If they get 1, that's 3. They'll end up with close to 100 points. Then you got to hope that these other teams do the same type of thing. They got to hope nobody runs out. If they got 4 games left, the Bruins only have 3. Yeah. I think it's Ottawa that's behind. Anyways, if they get 8 points and the Bruins get 6, the Bruins are going to drop either to second wild card or they're going to drop out of it. Detroit's losing, so that's a good thing.
Oh my God, that's like epic. I mean, it's an epic fail on their part.
But they're a team that hasn't won either, and the Bruins didn't make the playoffs last year. If they don't make the playoffs this year, I mean, this is 2 years in a row.
What do you think? Is Don Sweeney safe?
No. I don't think Cam Neely's safe either if this team continues to. The Jacobs are businessmen.
You blow it up? Would you blow it up?
No, I wouldn't. What I would do is I'd say, what do we really need here? We still need. They don't need as many goal scorers as we used to think, because they've got 6 or 7 guys that have got between 17 and 35 goals. That's not bad.
Do you bring up James Hagan?
I'd get rid of, I'll tell you what, I'd bring up Hagan now.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what I would do. I would get rid of Eric Lindholm if somebody could pick him up.
Yeah, Elias.
I'd get rid of him if somebody would pick up his salary, because he's getting about $7 million a year. He's not worth it. I'd get rid of Zadorov, because all he wants to do is commit penalties and get in fights, and he he's better actually offensively than he is defensively.
Yeah.
Because he's big. He
yeah.
come in
and he unloads. Yeah.
Well, that play when he come in
carries the
center,
puck deep.
went right,
Yeah.
and Geeky tipped it.
Yeah.
That was Zadora's goal, basically. I mean,
Right.
Geeky, if you watch it was a terrific
It was
tip.
unbelievable.
And it wasn't down, it was here.
It was out. Yeah.
But I would get rid of him. Look at Essamont,
Steve's?
Peak, Steves, all these guys they're fill-ins. They're good players, decent players. The only ones that, Kustadinov's been terrific. Who?
Kostelik, Janot.
No, Kostelik should have been on the draw in the 3-on-3.
Tough guy. He's a tough
But
guy.
he's a good draw guy,
Yeah,
and so's I mean,
I think Milton's
Pavel
a good,
Zacher is, and so's Lindholm. I hate to say it, but Lindholm doesn't show me anything for the money.
yeah.
They got to get some more defensive guys.
So do you bring up then Hagens? How about Merkelov or Lysell?
I'd bring in. I think
Put them on a line.
Well, what you got to say here is that if you think about this, they're not worrying about scoring goals lately.
Yeah.
So Hagens is a goal scorer. He was a setup kind of guy. Fabian Lysell's had a good year there. Merkelov is a two-way player. I think they need to bring up what they need to do is they're not going to go anywhere. So let's forget about them bringing somebody up and helping them get to the Stanley Cup. They need to say, who do we need to get rid of, and what do we need? They need a better somebody like McAvoy to help, because I think the other kid Hampus is on the tail end of his career.
So you got to keep Peak then.
Well, Peak is a Bruins type. I mean, he's
You got to
a
keep
hard
Kostelik.
hitter.
You got to keep Janot. Those guys are.
I don't know, and you know what, Janot, Steve, all these guys. I mean, Corrali is the best of the group.
Yeah.
He solidifies the fourth line.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good two-way player, and he's good on the draw. I wouldn't get rid of Corrali, but Janot, Yesamont, Steves, these guys are just flotsam. You know, they're not.
Henry Yokiharu.
I'd get rid of Yokiharu. I don't think
Yeah.
he's that good of a player, to be honest with you.
Well, it's going to be interesting, Al, to see how it all plays out with the Bruins staggering towards the finish.
Well, if they lose 12:30 the game on Saturday, it'd probably be at 1 o'clock, but whatever.
And then they have a back-to-back.
If they play Tampa Saturday and lose,
Then they
then
gotta-
think about that. They only have 2 games left.
And they got to go to Columbus.
They got to go to Columbus because they play Columbus twice out there,
And then they come back.
and then they play Jersey, I think, in the last
I think
game.
that's
So,
Tuesday.
I mean, Saturday's a huge game. If they don't come out of that with points, it's a huge game because now you've got 2 games left,
Yeah.
only 4 possible points.
Unbelievable.
You know, and these other teams are looking to see. You know, they're going. The Bruins are tough to play, but they're not a great team.
Well, like everyone, Al will probably be watching that one with his rosary beads. So, at any rate, that'll do it for us. We hope you have a great springtime here. We'll be taking a little bit of a sojourn, so we'll be off a little bit, and we look forward to getting back with you when we get back here. Stepping up to the plate. All right, everyone. We'll see you next time. Take care.